Welcome to Gracefully Booked, a Christian romance podcast where we love to discuss Christian fiction, especially the mushy-gushy happy endings. We love stories, but never forget the greatest love story of all, which is the love Jesus had for us when he died on the cross to pay the debt we could never hope to cover on our own. I'm your host, Tanya Wood, and I'm so thankful you're here today. Let's start off with a small prayer, and then we'll dive into today's episode of Gracefully Booked. Dear Lord, thank you for another day, another opportunity, Lord, to let our lights shine. I know that so many were not as privileged today to wake up, Father, so thank you, Lord, for giving us another day. Lord, as we dive into today's episode, I pray, Lord, that you will give me the right words to say, Father. I pray that this is all about you, Lord, that we can give you the glory always, Lord. I do not try to take credit for any of it, Lord. It is for you. It is to help to bring in lost souls to you, Lord. It is to help Christians, Lord, to find books that are good and pure and wholesome that they can enjoy to read, Father. It is for the one, Lord, who is curious about you and wants to come to you and they just happened to stumble upon one of these books today, Lord. And I pray, Father, that you just be with me every step of this podcast. Be with every listener, Lord, as they go about their day, Father. Meet their needs, Lord. Help them, heal them, Lord. Whatever it is they need, I ask that you will do it for them, Father. And I know that with all things are possible with you, Lord. And I thank you for it, and I praise you, Lord. And I love you so much. In your holy name I pray. Amen. Ladies and gentlemen, how is everybody doing today? I hope that you are having a wonderful day. I'm so excited to be here with you for another episode. This is episode number 4. I still haven't decided if this is just going to be a weekly thing or if it needs to be a daily thing. I would love for it to be a daily thing, absolutely. But we have to face the reality that I do have to work and I have to earn a living. So I'm just going to try to work these in as often as I can. I have had so many great ideas of what I would like to do to help the community, but I know that I cannot get ahead of myself. That will get me into trouble. So I am going to get a couple of book recommendations together, and hopefully you all will find something that you'll just really love. I appreciate everybody who has reached out to me with the positive feedback so far. It means more to me than you could ever know. So I think one thing definitely that I want to try to start doing is incorporating Bible scripture, just throw out a verse every day. I'm going to pray really hard about it because, like I said, this has to be Christ-centered. If I can't do that, then I don't need to be doing this. I know that sometimes the day gets away from us and we get distracted by other things and we get busy with other things, and sometimes it's really easy to forget that, we need to give all of the glory to God. He is the reason that we exist. He's the reason that we're still breathing. And I, for one, am just so grateful to him. And I am so honored just to have the opportunity to share books with you guys. So, yeah, just pray for me in that matter that, the Lord will show me what he wants me to do with this, that he will use me for this, that good will come of it. And I'm going to go find you some book recommendations. The first book that I've decided to go with today is from Gina Holder. She says, I am an indie author. I write romantic suspense and cozy mysteries. So I went and looked up Miss Holder's books, and the one that caught my eye was Whither Shall I Go? And this was released on August 1st, 2017. And I'm delighted that I just now spotted something about Cades Cove in here, because I've been there. Actually, I was just talking to my mother last night about Cades Cove. So that's fun. All right. So it says, I miss him too, Biddy, but God knows best. Someday you'll see. If only I could believe that. In 1911, Ellie Williams struggles to see God's hand in her life when she loses both parents and is sent to live with her wealthy estranged aunt, who transforms her from awkward country bumpkin to socialite heiress. 6 years later, she meets a young preacher and finds hope as they serve the Lord together. Robert Hampton is deeply devoted to God and desires to take the gospel to the unreached natives of Brazil. He didn't expect to fall in love. When he is drafted, Robert is torn between his duty as a soldier and his budding affections for Ellie. Will Robert survive the trenches? Will he lose the only woman he's ever loved? Ellie's journey takes her from her home in Cades Cove, Tennessee, to the concrete jungle of New York City, and finally to the harsh, unforgiving world of the Amazon River Basin, where she meets Paul, a doctor who's lost his way, and Jack, a soldier with amnesia. Encountering anacondas, jaguars, and an antagonistic shaman, will Ellie give in to the fears that threaten to overwhelm her? Or can she depend upon God's grace to bring about His will for her life? Whither Shall I Go combines compelling characters, sweet romance, vivid setting, and historical details in this emotionally charged story of one woman's struggle to surrender to God's plan and allow His grace to work in her life. Can life take her anywhere that His hand does not lead and His presence cannot be found? That is an incredible blurb. Just reading about that, and where she's talking about all of the anacondas and jaguars. Ooh, no thank you, but it does sound like a good read, and I'm adding it to the wish list right now. All right, it is added. This has 77 reviews on Amazon. It holds a 4.4 out of 5 stars. It is available for 99 cents on Kindle. It is in Kindle Unlimited, and the paperback is available for $8.99. There's just something about the girl's face on the cover of this book. I don't know, it just draws you in. I like the darker, warmer colors of this, and I think that everybody needs to go and check it out. So, Miss Holder, thank you so much for sharing your book with us. I hope that everyone will go check it out right now, because we all really need to go read about those anacondas and jaguars. Ooh, I don't know that I could ever do that. It freaks me out just to watch any movie that has anything like that in it. But, that's what happens when you decide to go out and face nature, right? Maybe I shall just stay in the comfort of this little room. All right, here's the next one. Okay, our next one is from Jennifer Spredeman. And she says, "Thank you for reaching out. I'm sure you'll be a blessing to many. I have about 50 romantic, faith-filled Amish fiction titles." That is impressive, ma'am. Very impressive. I went and looked her up on Amazon, and she does have a lot of books. And the one that I went with was book 1 of 12 in the Amish Country Broads. It is titled The Trespasser. It has 2,753 ratings with an average of 4.4 out of 5 stars. Now, if you are an author or an inspiring author, please do not let these numbers intimidate you. I myself have absolutely adored books that only had a handful of reviews, and it's no fault of the author. It is simply just because sometimes when a new book comes out, it gets buried underneath all of the other books that also come out. And that is precisely why I have started this podcast, is to help connect readers and authors that love Christian fiction. With that said, I do hope that I can make a difference for authors. I hope that I can help them get their book out there and get it noticed and help them to grow with their books as an author and to get the right audience. So I kind of just piggybacked off of that, Miss Spredeman. I apologize. You guys, it has a beautiful cover. What I first noticed was the pinks and purples of the sky, and it drew me in. So I'm going to go ahead and read this blurb to you, and I hope that you will go check her out. This is Jennifer Spredeman, The Trespasser. She's broken and searching for family. He lost the love of his life. Will this unlikely couple find their happily ever after when they least expect it? Single mother Kayla Johnson embarks on a journey to Pennsylvania in search of her daughter's biological family. But when a storm forces them to turn into an abandoned home in a small Amish community, Kayla must come to terms with her past disappointments and her distrust in God. Amish widower Silas Miller has always dreamed of owning his own property. So when Minister Yoder vacates his home and moves out of state, Silas is thrilled to be caretaker for the Yoder homestead. But when a trespasser finds shelter in the Yoder's house, Silas realizes it's not by accident. When he learns a secret that rocks his world, he must make a decision that would challenge life as he knows it. Will Silas listen to God's still small voice even if he's asked to give up his dream? Furthermore, can he open his heart to love again? This unputdownable romance set in Indiana Amish country is the first book in USA Today best-selling author Jennifer Spredeman's Amish Country Bride series. And then it goes on to let you know all of the titles for this series. Down at the bottom, it says, characters you'll laugh, cry, and fall in love with. Faith-filled Amish love stories set in Indiana from USA Today best-selling author Jennifer Spredeman. Well, I, for one, have never read an Amish romance. Please don't throw anything at me. I know. But I am willing to give it a try because, and I know this has nothing to do with it, and I know that it may look bad on me, but I was a huge movie lover. And the movie For Richer or Poorer, I absolutely loved that movie. I love the sense of the closeness of that community. Just the simpleness of how they live. It's beautiful. And sometimes I think that us on the outside, that we would be much happier if we didn't have so many material possessions and, the vibe, I can get behind it. So I'm definitely going to check out this book. I'm adding it to the wish list right now. And this is available for 99 cents. Actually, if I'm correct, when I looked at her books, I think there's a good majority of them. Let's see here. I'm going to double check because I don't want to tell you guys wrong. Okay, this one appears she could be using the strategy where she lets you have the first one for 99 cents so that you can get a taste, but I'm pretty sure this is actually just on sale right now at 99 cents. So today would be the day to go and grab that one. All right. So 99 cents on Kindle and the paperback is $14.99. So whichever one you please, but be sure that you go ahead and grab it. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and grab that as well. All right. So that is The Trespasser by Jennifer Spredeman. Thank you, Jennifer, for reaching out to me. I appreciate it. And guys, go check out that book. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So our next book recommendation comes from Marsha Lee Laycock. And she says, I've published 2 contemporary novels. The first one won me the Best New Canadian Christian Author Award. That is impressive in itself. Congratulations. And it is called One Smooth Stone. So I went and looked this up. One Smooth Stone was published on September 12th of 2007. It has 21 ratings on Amazon with a 4.5 out of 5 average. And you can get it for $9.49 on Kindle. It looks like it may be available on audiobook, and the paperback is $18.24. Here is the blurb. No matter how far you run, God will find you. No matter how bad you've been, God will forgive you. Alex Donnelly is running and trying to hide. He has picked a good place to do it, the Yukon, but he is pursued by friends, enemies, and most effectively, by God. Burning with the need to know about his parents, Alex returns to his birth city, Seattle, where he discovers that his mother tried to abort him. The trauma sends him on the run again, only to find out God has orchestrated a divine appointment for him back in the Yukon. The story is filled with miraculous healing, struggles with rage, and an obsession with revenge for a childhood abuser. This story illustrates that God never gives up on those whom he has chosen. God's mercy and grace extend even to those who consider themselves unworthy, and even more to those who are considered unworthy in the eyes of the world. That is very beautifully written. There's just something, I don't know if it is the content of what is being said or just the way that she worded this, but it has touched my heart, and I hope that everyone will go and check that out. I'm going to add it to my list right now. And boy, is that list getting longer and longer every time. The cover is very beautiful. Um, I'm not even going to attempt to say that word because I will butcher it because I butcher it every time, but I'm going to try anyway. Aurora Borealis. I may have said that wrong. All I know is that they were visible last week, and my husband and I went and looked at them, and they were beautiful. But you can see that in this picture. And then, of course, there's like a river. You can just see the small stream of water going with it and lots of rocks. And it just, I don't know, there's something about this whole blurb that just touched my heart. And I hope that y'all will give it a try. Go check it out. That is One Smooth Stone by Marsha Lee Laycock. And I can understand why you won that award just from the blurb. And I can't wait to read this one. So thank you so much for sharing that with us, Marsha. Guys, be sure that you go check it out. All right, so the next book comes to us from Valerie Comer. And so I went and I used my little detective skills. Yeah, right, I don't have any detective skills, but I went on Amazon and she has a lot of books, which she does state. She says over 50 Christian contemporary romance novels. Happy to chat. And there are so many of them, and it was really hard for me to choose which one because, she knows what she's doing and she makes it a tough choice. But I went ahead and selected the Riverbend Romance series, which has 5 books. And you know how that everyone, when you click on a series and it has like a description of what that series is, this is so fun. Listen to this. It says, Riverbend, British Columbia is the quaint, fictional Canadian town you wish you were from, where everyone knows everyone, seasons are celebrated, and love is in the air. There's a novella for every season: winter, spring, summer, autumn, and Christmas. Come join us in Riverbend. And that just sounds so exciting, and I love it. Valerie, bravo. I love the way that you just worded that. It makes you excited, and it makes you look forward to reading these books. Book 1 in this series is Secretly Yours, a Christian romance, and it says, oh, that was just way country, wasn't it? My bad. It says, a chef caring for her teen sister is wooed by her secret admirer, a former bad boy, now a youth pastor. Chef Lindsay Solberg agrees to cater the church's Valentine's Day fundraising banquet as a favor to her teen sister, but she's shocked to discover the bad boy from her high school days is now Riverbend's youth pastor. Seriously? How could he have changed that much? Nick Harrison has prayed for years for an opportunity to make amends. Now Lindsay's back in Riverbend and won't give him the time of day. What's a guy to do except leave a trail of gifts from a secret admirer? Lindsay's heart takes a beating when she realizes the boy who was never good enough is now a far better man than she deserves. Valerie, I can understand why you have over 50 novels because that's how you do it. Yes, ma'am. I have goosebumps on my arms. That made my heart flutter. I felt the butterflies. And when a book does that to me, I know that I absolutely must have it. Y'all need to go download this. It is 99 cents on Kindle. It's available on Kindle Unlimited, but if you're like me and you don't have Kindle Unlimited, snag this bad boy for 99 cents. Pun intended. I'm very curious, about how that somebody that was a bad boy goes to being a youth pastor. And I think that that is a wonderful example to people of how that, God can take you and mold you into something that is nearly unrecognizable. And, that's something that we all struggle with, is that most people will still see us as they remember us versus who we are now. God, when we are forgiven and we are born again, everything in our past, He just throws it away. He literally does not care. He does not think about it again. But us, in our flesh, we always think about it and we always hold it against ourselves. And other people hold it against us too. And wow, this book, I cannot wait to read it. Bravo. Riverbend Romance Series, book number 1, Secretly Yours by Valerie Comer. I'm so excited. I just can't wait. Yeah, I'm tapping here just giddily, and I'm sorry. Anyway, at the very bottom, it says, if you love Christian contemporary romance series that focus on engaging characters, strong communities, and deep faith, clean, wholesome, sweet, and inspirational romances, you've come to the right place. That's for later. Right now, why not buy or borrow Secretly Yours today and fall in love with Riverbend? Oh, bravo. I love it so much. Yes, I'm gonna buy it. Yep. Okay. You guys just get to hear me fangirl over authors that are new to me. But hopefully you will go and fangirl over Valerie too. So, oh yeah, I forgot all the other stuff, didn't I? It has 507 ratings on Amazon, a 4.3 out of 5 stars. And the cover is all in pink with some snow and mitted hands that are holding one another. How cute! I love it. I love it. Bravo. And I apologize for fangirling so hard. This is so good. Okay, the next one. The next recommendation that I have for y'all is from Ruth Pendleton. And she has A Llama for the Cowboy, which is book 1 in the Elk Mountain Ranch series. And it says, a handsome widower, a woman who doesn't trust second chances. What will it take to open their hearts to love? Porter Matthews knows grief. He's worked hard to rebuild his heart after becoming a widower 8 years ago. Finding true love once in a lifetime is rare. Finding it twice, that would be a miracle. When a feisty woman catches him trespassing on her llama ranch, she doesn't appreciate his help. He was trying to free the llama from a thicket, but will the llama's beautiful owner be the one to free his heart? After being let down in the past, Emily Hutchings is determined to achieve her dreams on her own. She's working hard to open a llama therapy center, but the handsome cowboy up the road is becoming a major distraction. With looming deadlines, does she have time in her life to trust a new man? When Porter doesn't show up for their first date, Emily decides she didn't need the distraction anyway. Too bad her heart has other plans. A Llama for the Cowboy is the first book in the Elk Mountain Ranch series. This family saga will make you swoon with handsome cowboys, healing hearts, and happy endings. Well, what I can tell you is that I really love this book cover. It does, in fact, have a llama on it. And it also has a man and woman. They're embracing, and he's looking at her so lovingly, and actually she's looking at him so lovingly too. And let's see, there's a windmill in the back. Side note, my cat is over here making a lot of noise for whatever reason, but we're trying to ignore her. Go away, Christine. Go bother your daddy. The book cover is very nice. I like it a lot. This has 231 ratings on Amazon, a 4.6 out of 5 stars. It is available on Kindle Unlimited, $5.99 for the Kindle version, $15.99 for the paperback. It was published on June 17th of 2022. Ruth Pendleton, I do like where this is going. It's funny with the llama, and I know that the llama has to have a big part in the story. I like the names, Porter Matthews, Emily Hutchings. Sometimes that's the hardest part, is it not? Trying to come up with character names. I do believe that this is going to be a great story to read, and I hope that everybody else will check it out. I've added it to my wish list, and I will snag it up ASAP. Thank you so much, Ruth, for letting me put your book on here. I appreciate all the authors who are willing to let me put their books on here. I know that maybe I'm not as charismatic as some people, but I do enjoy doing this. I have a lot of fun, and I hope that you enjoy listening to it. The last recommendation that I have for you this evening is going to come to us from Carol Ashby, and in her comment she says, I write the Light in the Empire series, set around the Roman Empire between AD 106 and 129, where being a Christian is illegal and pagans with Christian friends wrestle with whether accepting the truth is worth the risk of dying for it. Each story includes non-romantic friendships, spiritual arcs, potentially deadly circumstances, and a romantic subplot. The stories all lend themselves to stimulating discussions about living as a faithful Christian in a culture that's increasingly hostile. All are historically accurate, and I also write a Roman history website that can provide background information about life in Roman times. I keep the articles at the site PG-13 or milder to be suitable for teachers and students to use. There are 13 standalone volumes published with a 14th in the works. Leading characters range in age from late teens, early 20s, through early 40s. Stories are set in many different locations across Europe, the Middle East, and Northern Africa. Alright, so I went and I looked it up on Amazon, and I'm going to try to hurry this video because there is thunder rumbling, which means more storms coming our way. So, the first one in the series is called Forgiven. The series name is Light in the Empire. There's 13 books currently available, with the 14th one coming soon. It has a average of 4.6 out of 5 stars with 440 ratings. That is awesome. Kindle version is $2.99. The hardcover is $26.99 and paperback is $14.99. This one was published on November 11th, 2016, and I'll just go ahead and dive into the blurb. Dangerous times, difficult friendships, lives transformed by forgiveness and love. Are some wounds too deep to forgive? With a ruthless father who murdered for the family inheritance, Marcus Drusus plans to do the same. In AD 122, Marcus follows his brother Lucius to Judea and plots to frame a zealot for his older brother's death. But the plan goes awry, and Lucius is rescued by a Messianic Jewish woman. Her oldest brother is a zealot, and a Roman soldier killed her twin, but Rachel still persuades her father Joseph to put his love for Jesus above his anger with Rome and hide Lucius until he heals. Rachel cares for the enemy, and more than broken bones heal as a duty turns to love. Lucius embraces Joseph's faith in Jesus, but sharing a faith doesn't heal all wounds. Even before revealed secrets slice open old scars, Joseph wants no Roman son-in-law. With Rachel's zealot brother suspecting he's a Roman officer, and his own brother planning to kill him when he returns, can Lucius survive long enough to change Joseph's mind? Forgiven is the first volume in the Law in the Empire series. These novels will take you around the empire from Germania to Britannia to Thracia, Dacia, Judea, North Africa, Roman Egypt, and of course to Rome itself. Each can be read as a standalone and includes discussion questions for groups. That sounds awesome to me. Further down it says, if you enjoy the Roman-era biblical fiction of Tessa Afshar and Francine Rivers' Mark of the Lion series, you'll love the standalone novels of the Lot in the Empire series. Buy Forgiven to start your faith-filled adventures today. So I admit, and I'm not proud of it, that I struggled with some of the words there, but I think I did okay. Forgive me if I mispronounced anything. This looks like a very serious series. Like, I can tell that a lot of time and dedication and research, and just, you can tell when something has been so well cared for and tended to. I don't think it's any different than the love and care that goes into a garden, because some people make that look so easy peasy, and it is not. It is not. But this, you can tell. I mean, just even looking at the cover and reading the blurb and what she says about it herself, you can just tell this is something that Carol Ashby is so proud of. And she should be, because, I mean, it made my heart drop into my stomach when I was reading, about Christianity being illegal, because, we have no idea how lucky, how blessed we are today, especially, living in America, which I know all the listeners do not live in America. But, that is a freedom that I cherish, is that I can express my faith, and I could not even begin to imagine what it would have been like to live back then, because, we can always talk the talk, but when it comes down to it, can you walk the walk? Because there are so many that would cower away and hide because they know that it would have meant, not a happy ending. And not to be a bummer or anything, but for those of us who have read the Bible, we know that there will come a time when, we're going to have to stand up for our faith, and, they're going to be like, well, if you don't deny him, then you are done for. And, for many of us, it's easy to sit here today and be like, oh, well, they're just going to have to do whatever. But when it comes to that moment, what would you do? How would you react? And I know this conversation got deep really fast, and I apologize, but it really does make you think, what would it have been like living back that, in that time, and to, just to know that even the non-believers, they were afraid to be friends with believers because, it could get them into serious trouble too. And I just thank the Lord that, we have the freedoms that we have today, because there are still so many countries today that you can't do that. You hear the stories of them that hide down in the tunnels with their Bibles that they had smuggled in. They had to have them smuggled in like they were an illegal substance. And, that's just something that people forget about and we take for granted every single day. And we just need to thank the good Lord above, that it's not like that for us. But wow, thank you, Carol. You've already got my brain turning and thinking about things. And I'm adding this to my wish list. It seems like it would be an epic quest of sorts to go on for sure. So everybody be sure that you go and check out Forgiven, Light in the Empire by Carol Ashby. And I mean, you can just tell, when something is so loved, and I really can't wait to read these books. And if you have read them, please sound off. Let me know what you thought about them, because I would love to hear. Thank you all so much for joining me for another episode. I am having an absolute blast doing these, and I hope so much that you're enjoying listening to them. I really hope that you're finding good reads and that you can let me know how it's working out for you. Let me know if there are other books that I need to be shedding some light on. I know that I say I love the mushy gushy romance, but I don't mind to promote others as long as they are Christian fiction. Let's see. Also, I would like to remind you all that I do offer formatting and book cover services. My prices start at $30 on formatting, $40 on book covers. If I can help you in any way, I would be more than happy to do so. I try to be reasonable. I try to be the best around that I can be. I'm kind of out of shape on it because I haven't done one in so long, but I would really like to get back into it, especially for my fellow Christian authors. Also, I would like to let you know that I will be having a giveaway soon, so be on the lookout for that. I'm going to include a picture so that you can see it on the YouTube video. I would also like to remind everybody that you can find me on social media. I have TikTok, where you can follow me at Gracefully Booked PC, on Twitter /X under GB Podcast 24, Facebook Gracefully Booked Podcast, YouTube Gracefully Booked PC, and of course you can email me at gracefullybookedpodcast@gmail.com. Let's see, is there anything else that I need to let you know before I go? I'm still working on the interview part of this. I'm very excited. I think within the next 2 weeks we're going to be able to have our first interview, so that is exciting. And if you would like to support me, I do not expect anybody to do that. I'm so happy that you even listen, and the biggest way to support me would be to share this with your friends, to interact with every post you come across, subscribe to the YouTube channel, like me on Facebook, and just let others know. But if you want to support me in other ways, I do have an Etsy shop where I sell t-shirts and t-shirt designs. You can find me on there under Tea-rific by Tanya. I will also include a couple of pictures of that just to show you what's going on. But, no obligation whatsoever. If anything, all that I can ask of you is to pray for me, that this will grow bigger and bigger, and that we can continue to reach people and maybe bring in some new believers. And I know that there'll be people who listen to this podcast that are curious about the Lord, and hopefully there will be a book or just something said that will help them take that next step. So God bless you guys. Thank you so much for staying with me today. I hope that you have a wonderful evening or morning, whatever time it may be where you are, and I'll see you later. This has been Gracefully Booked with Tanya Wood. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you've found a new book to enjoy, and in turn will tell a friend. It's always a pleasure to share books, but may we always be attentive in sharing the gospel. May God bless you always. Until next time.